All right, Rams beat the 49ers 21-20 here at Levi's. It was obviously a meaningless game as far as the standings go, so we can keep this quick. The 49ers have now officially finished the regular season. 12-5 is the record, and they are the number one seed in the NFC. Meanwhile, elsewhere, the Philadelphia Eagles completely collapsed. They got blown out by the New York Giants, so they're going to be in the playoffs because they secured their spot a while ago, but the 49ers officially broke the Eagles, and I think we can say they might have broken Jacksonville as well. Jacksonville not heading to the postseason after they lost to Tennessee today. But on the field today, the 49ers in the first half, when they still had at least some of their starters in, they looked good offensively. 274 yards of offense in the first half. I thought Sam Darnold was sharp. I thought that's exactly what the 49ers wanted to see out of Sam Darnold in this game today. When he was playing with at least the majority of 49er starters, I know that they didn't have George Kittle in this game. I know it was no Christian McCaffrey. But when that line was in there in the first half, he was sharp. He made some good throws. Chris Conley made a big catch. The touchdown from Darnold to Ronnie Bell was a nice progression down there in the red zone, and scanning his target, zips one in on the slant. Again, the first half was really nice. Then they stopped moving the ball in the second half against the Rams today, and that tends to happen when you've got a guy like Ben Barch playing center. Ben Barch had never played center in his career. 49ers picked him up from Jacksonville back in November off their practice squad, and Ben Barch then got his feet wet at center, right? His first reps at center in the NFL, maybe at any level of football. So the Rams' pressure just overwhelmed the 49ers in the second half, and Darnold still made some nice throws down the stretch, but Ray McCloud dropped one, and then he made threw a dime to Chris Conley on that final drive with 55 seconds left. But Conley couldn't hold on to that football. I think if the 49ers receivers catch either one of those two nice passes from Sam Darnold late, then they set Jake Moody up for a potential game-winning field goal. And I think 49ers really wanted to see Moody kick again in this game because that was one of the sore spots, right? He missed the, 37-yard field goal, and he missed an extra point. Hadn't gotten all that many opportunities to kick this year. He had made all of his extra points until today. That was an NFL rookie record with, I think it was 58 straight made extra points, and then he missed. So they're entering the playoffs with Moody on a missing streak from the field goal, from the kicker position on field goals and with extra points. That's something that you don't like to see if you're the 49ers, but you have to believe that he'll be able to right the ship because that's who you've picked to be your kicker, and that's who you're going to have to roll with. It's just that Jake Moody hasn't gotten all that many opportunities this season because the 49ers offense has been so good. As far as injuries go, the most important thing today was getting out of this game as healthy as possible. And Clelin Ferrell got hurt in the first half, and he hobbled off the field, and then he got carted off the field, and they said it was a knee injury, and they ruled him out right away, which is not a good sign for the 49ers. So I'm going to go to the locker room right now. We're going to check to see what Clelin Ferrell's status is. If he is done for the season or if he misses any time here in the postseason, it's a big loss because he's quietly been a very, very good edge setter against the run, and his pass rushing hasn't been bad this year either. He's obviously a rotational depth piece along the defensive line. But if you lose him, you lose a guy who I think has really brought a good motor to the line, has really made sure that the totality of what that unit is doing is, high quality stuff. And, they said that he's logged more steps on the GPS in some of these games than skill position players for the 49ers, which just goes to show you the type of hustle and effort that Clelin Ferrell has brought to the table. So the 49ers are definitely hoping he's okay because if you lose him, Chase Young is going to have to deliver a little bit more of the slack. You're going to have to probably see maybe even Robert Beal Jr., like a rookie this year. You might have to see him up for the postseason. And that might not be the worst thing in the world. Robert Beal had a sack today. They've been really happy with the rookie edge rusher out of Georgia. He's got that great get off the line of scrimmage. He's a lighter, more explosive edge rusher. Chris Kasarik has been really happy with him at practice. Today he had a sack, and it's those type of players that really had a chance to shine in this football game. In the first half, Taylor Hawkins, who's been working behind the scenes for 2 years on the 49ers practice squad as a safety, with 4 safeties down today with injuries. Jair Brown hurt. Tashawn Gibson also missed this game. All those guys down. they're able to elevate Taylor Hawkins from the practice squad, give him that reward, give him a start at safety opposite Logan Ryan, the veteran. And there was a pass that was batted up into the air. I think it was off of a Rams receiver in the first half, and Hawkins made a nice diving interception. So it's always cool to see players rewarded for putting in some of that work behind the scenes. Anyway, Moody, those two misses on the extra point and the field goal, that's going to leave a sour taste in the 49ers' mouth here entering the bye week before the postseason. But I think that they've got to be happy with where Sam Darnold is at, even though he fumbled to end that game in desperation time. He was working behind a very patchwork offensive line once they removed the starters, and he still made some throws down the stretch. And when you don't have Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk and George Kittle and those guys in, what happens is you're probably going to see more drops. And they saw a drop from Ray McLeod. They saw a drop from Chris Conley. They just weren't as potent. The 49ers weren't as potent as they normally are offensively. But this was a game about getting in the work, right? And they got in some work, I think, with somebody like Sebastian Joseph Day, the defensive tackle, who, two-gap kind of player who was still trying to, and still is trying to learn the 49ers 4-3 system. He got to play essentially a full game. That was really important for the 49ers. Demetrius Flanagan-Foles, your third or fourth linebacker, depending on who's hurt and who's not, he made a big tackle for loss in the second half. And I thought that it was a good atmosphere here at Levi's Stadium. I thought both teams were playing hard. I thought that the fans were having fun. It got loud down there in the stadium. I was impressed with how many fans were there for a game that was relatively meaningless for both sides. I get that the Rams hadn't locked up the 6 or the 7 seed yet, right? So they technically still had some wiggle room. But for the 49ers, there was nothing at stake in this game. So it was just a glorified exhibition, but I still thought that it was well played. Congratulations to Puka Nacua. I actually met his mom before the game on the field. Puka Nacua went to BYU. Same alma mater of Fred Warner. Fred Warner always spoke so highly of the Rams receiver. Nacua broke two rookie records. Single season catch record for rookies, single season receiving yardage record for rookies in this game, and then the Rams were able to take him out right after that. So, Elijah Mitchell today, again, got some good yardage for the 49ers. They were extremely conservative on the player preservation front today. Trent Williams came in sick today. He played, a series, maybe 2 series. They yanked him out of the game. Jalen Moore took over at that left tackle position. By the end of the game, you had Matt Pryor at right tackle as well. I mentioned Ben Barch, who had never played center, that center position. You removed Warner. You moved Nick Bosa on the defensive side. Charvarius Ward gave up the touchdown early to Puka Nacua. But this was a game where we're going to get to watch some tape of guys that we don't normally get to watch tape of, see how much they've progressed. It's going to be fun to watch that all 22. And now we can back it up and move on to the postseason. The 49ers had a great regular season. I think that they might have been the best team in the NFL during this regular season. It's them and Baltimore, right? Baltimore came in here, won that game against the 49ers where San Francisco turned it over 5 times. The 49ers ultimately hope to be able to rewrite that script in the Super Bowl, maybe against Baltimore. We'll see if they can do that. But the next step is the divisional round of the postseason right here at Levi's Stadium. So signing off for the last time here on one of these live game recaps. The 49ers lose to the Rams 21-20, but it doesn't mean anything because they're moving on to the divisional round. They get to host everything here at Levi's. The road to the Super Bowl goes through their home stadium. I'm off to the locker room. Talk to you very soon.